In this lesson, we're going to cover the most common ways that you can tell someone that they're awesome in Español. So, without further ado, let's start making some smiles with the best Spanish compliments you can start using today. The most common Spanish compliments, the ones we'll be going over in this lessons, are actually expressions. However, they convey a compliment, so they should be taken as one. We'll be going over the compliments themselves, some easy formulas for remembering how to structure them, and what context you should use them in. Trust me, this will make sense when you see them in action, so let's dive into it. Our first Spanish compliment format can be represented by the formula. Que, insert a noun, más, insert an adjective. In English, this would be like saying, what a blank, where those two blanks are an adjective and then a noun. For instance, your sentence might be something like, what a beautiful home, or what a fancy dress. This is a compliment you'll hear all the time in Spanish. It's incredibly popular, probably due to how versatile and simple it is. It really can be used in any circumstance. For example, if you like your friend's outfit, you might say something like, "Qué falda más bonita." This, of course, translates to, what a nice skirt. Do you see the formula at work? Falda or skirt is the noun in the equation, and bonita is the adjective describing a positive attribute of the skirt. Now, there are some variations of this phrase to be aware of. Sometimes the word que is replaced with the word vaya, and the word más can often be replaced with the word tan. Here's how these variations would look like as a formula. Que, noun, más, adjective. Que, noun, tan, adjective. Or vaya, noun, más, adjective. All right, now that we've got all that sorted out, let's see two more examples before moving on. See if you can point out the noun and the adjective for yourself. Imagine you see a male friend who recently purchased himself a new accessory. You might compliment him by saying, "Qué reloj más elegante," which means, what an elegant watch. In this example, reloj or watch is the noun and elegante is the adjective. Getting the hang of it? Let's see one more. This time, we're going to try out one of these simple word substitutions we talked about. If you were at a family reunion and you wanted to greet your nephew, you might say something like, "Ay, qué chico tan guapo." This compliment is a kind way of saying, what a handsome boy. Notice how the word tan was swapped in instead of más in this example, but the sentence still means the same thing. If we wanted to replace que with vaya, we could say the sentence as, "Vaya, chico tan guapo." Either way, we are still saying, what a handsome boy. And if you already guessed that chico is the noun and guapo the adjective in this case, you're really starting to get the hang of it. Great job! Qué rápido aprendes. What a fast learner. See what I did there? Remember, if you want to learn how to speak Spanish, make sure to check out BaseLang.com, where you can get access to unlimited one-on-one Spanish classes with native speaking teachers, all via Zoom. Now, let's move on to our next compliment type. The second compliment type that you'll find is very common among Spanish speakers, involving saying, "Se te da muy bien," and then finishing up the sentence with mentioning whatever activity you think that person excels at. Se te da muy bien translates to, you are really good at. So with this one, you naturally just need to fill in the blank at the end of the compliment to match your desired context. This type of compliment is used to praise someone's capabilities, which can mean a lot to friends, family members, and even strangers. To be able to compliment a wide variety of people on their favorite activities, you first need to know how to say the actual activities themselves. If you need help with this essential skill, be sure to watch our lesson on words for hobbies in Spanish. It'll be a tremendous amount of help. Just like our first compliment type, this format has more than one correct way to communicate the same idea. Instead of "se te da muy bien," you might sometimes choose to change it up a little and say "qué bien" at the beginning of your sentence instead. In this case, your sentence format would be "qué bien se te da," and then whichever activity you're wanting to comment on. "Qué bien" translates more closely to something like, how well. In other words, this form communicates that the person you're talking to performs an activity well, almost like it comes naturally to them. Let's look at 2 example sentences that you might say using both of the common forms of the Spanish complement type. First off, a teacher might say to their talented student, "Se te da muy bien la escritura." This means you are really good at writing. You can see how in this example, the standard complement formula was followed with writing or la escritura being tagged on at the end as the activity. This sentence can also be communicated using our alternative method. This would look like, "Que bien se te da la escritura," which of course also translates to, "You're so good at writing." And that's pretty much all you need to know for this second type of compliment. Once you can memorize the elements of the sentence, all you need to know is the Spanish word for the activity you're trying to compliment the person on. And you're good to go. Before we look at our next Spanish compliment, if you're enjoying this lesson, be sure to subscribe to the BaseLang YouTube channel. We make tons of helpful Spanish content for students of all levels, so hit the subscribe and bell icon so you don't miss any future lessons. Now, our third way of complimenting in Spanish involves the word estás. Estás in this context translates to you look. And when you are using it to compliment someone, you follow it up with whatever adjective you think describes their current appearance. To use this compliment type, it is really helpful to first have a solid grasp of describing physical characteristics. For a complete introduction or refresher to this concept, check out our lesson on basic Spanish vocabulary for physical descriptions. It'll be a great help for mastering this next concept. So, for instance, when meeting up with a lovely lady for a date, you might tell her, "Estás hermosa." This would be your way of telling her, "You look beautiful." Hermosa is simply the adjective you tacked on at the end of estás to complete your sentence. In response to your kind compliment, she might reply, "Estás muy elegante," or "You look so stylish." This is another pretty simple one that is easy to get right. If you're just getting started complimenting someone and you don't want to mess it up, using estás plus a positive adjective you know is a fantastic starting point. Our next type of Spanish compliment is also great for beginners. So let's take a look at it now. Moving on to our fourth type of Spanish compliment, we've got "Cómo me gusta tú," followed by the relevant noun of your choice. This translates to "I really like your blank." In this case, the word "cómo" expresses that we really like something. It amplifies your compliment in a way, so use this when you want to be more enthusiastic about the compliment you're giving. Ready for an example? If you saw a fashionable stranger on the streets of Madrid, you might want to tell them, "Cómo me gusta tu camisa." I really like your shirt. In this instance, you would have taken the base formula "Cómo me gusta tú" and added the noun camisa to make it clear what you like about the person's appearance. Now that we've covered many different ways to compliment someone's appearance, let's look at the most common Spanish compliment that can be used in a ton of different contexts to praise someone's actions. This one's totally straightforward. Buen trabajo translates to good job. This type of compliment functions just as it would in English. It is used when you want to praise someone's outstanding work. This one is particularly useful in a school or work setting, or even just to say to children. No matter who you're talking to, everyone appreciates hearing "buen trabajo" or "good job" every now and then. Next time you're chatting with a native Spanish speaker and you want them to know that their efforts don't go unnoticed, don't be afraid to throw a sincere "buen trabajo" into your conversation. They'll appreciate the sentiment. And with that, we've reached the end of this lesson. Buen trabajo. Now you know 5 of the most common ways to compliment someone in Spanish. This is a wonderful starting point that will really bring your Spanish skills to the next level. If you're down to challenge yourself even more and see tons of helpful examples, be sure to check out our full guide to the Spanish compliments, which is linked in the description below. In this article, you'll find not 10, not 20, but 101 Spanish compliments you can use to make someone's day. Once you study it, you'll never be at a loss for words when it comes to telling someone how awesome they are. And if you want to learn how to confidently speak Spanish, then why not schedule your first BaseLang class today? At baselang.com, you get access to unlimited one-on-one Spanish classes with native speaking teachers all via Zoom. Try your first week for only $1. Now that you know how to successfully get into someone's good graces with a well-formed compliment, you'll want to practice how to deepen your conversations to the next level. To get some practice with this skill, check out our lesson on 5 unique ways to say "How are you?" in Spanish. Once you know how to ask someone about their day and how they're feeling, you open up the doors for a genuine connection and friendship down the road. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.